Hello, guys. Hope you're having a good day. We wanted to share with you guys a devotional thoughts since we can't be there in class and share our thoughts there with you guys. We want to do it today in a video format. So something that has been going on a lot recently is a lot of changes, a lot of difficult times, not only here in Palau but around the world. Thankfully, everything seems to be good here so far, but everywhere else in the world, in America, where our family live, things are definitely very difficult. And for us too here, as some of our staff, our loved ones have gone from this Iceland, we definitely have felt that change. And with this is a great moment for us to actually grow in our faith. And for me, even though it is difficult times, and every time I've had a difficult time, I've learned to know that there is a process through that where we could go back and actually see ourselves growing much more. And it's the challenges really that make you grow, either learning or in our faith as well. And that's something that is very important. And I know you have a verse that you could share for us as well that goes along those lines.
Yeah, I just pulled up this verse. It's actually a little bit of a different translation that I really like. And it's from Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take."
And it's just a very beautiful promise. And sometimes we think our will is the best, or we get worried wanting to solve every single problem. But sometimes it's better to just take a step back, reflect, and really ask for counsel from God. And if we if we trust in Him, He will definitely show us a path, the best path that we should take.
Yeah, I agree. And I also wanted to put one other addition to that last comment. You talked about paths, because this verse does end with telling you that God will show you which path to take. I do believe that is a very important thing to understand. It's an awesome gift that we have, that we can know where God is leading in our lives. But I do think that there are some occasions where we might find ourselves at a crossroads, or we might find ourselves with major life decisions to make, and we find ourselves in a kind of maybe between a rock and a hard place where we're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know which decision to make. I don't know how to move forward.
Exactly.
And I think in some of those circumstances, actually, since we do have freedom of choice in this life, we have that blessing to actually choose which paths to take, regardless of whether or not we know what God's plan is. That's a gift that we do have, a gift of freedom of choice.
Right.
And I think sometimes God does kind of allow us to make decisions for our own desires, our own gains. For example, like a career path to take. Maybe if I wanted to be a dentist, I could would have become a dentist if I wanted to do that in college. And I probably would have been great at it. It would have taken longer to go through school. I would have had different missions opportunities, obviously, and so my life would have been extremely different if I would have taken that path rather than the one I'm on right now.
Right.
But the point isn't that I'm gonna go my own way, or that I'm gonna make a decision without God. I think a lot of people tend to kind of bring that up where it's like, oh, well, you're either going to make a good decision with God, or you're going to make a bad decision without God.
Right.
And I don't actually agree with that. I think that regardless of whatever decision we make in these major changes that are happening in our lives, God is still going to be there regardless of which path we're actually on. Right? And so depending on our worldview and our spiritual walk with God, it kind of dictates how we actually view our walk or our journey, right? And in my personal view, my journey and my walk is always going to be with God, no matter where I'm at, because God wants to be with me and I want to be with Him. And so even though I might stumble and fall, or I might make a quote unquote wrong decision or bad decision this day or that day, it doesn't actually matter, because God's still going to be right there. He's still going to be with me on whatever path I choose to take, if there are options, if there are actually choices that I can make in my life. And the verse does mention that God will help us choose things and help show us the right paths to take.
Right.
But again, I think that it is up to us ultimately, because we do have a freedom of choice, and depending on our relationship with God and how strong it is, we will either know for sure that we are going in the right direction or not. And if our relationship is not quite there with God, then it's going to be difficult for us to understand which decision or choice to make, because it's like, I'm not sure what God wants.
Right.
But the closer you are to God, the easier it'll be to understand what the plans are for us. The good plans, the best plans, as you said before.
Right.
Because God knows best.
Definitely. And I hope these words have encouraged you. And please don't hesitate on the announcement post. Please put any prayer requests that you might have. If it's silent, just put silent. And we would love to pray for you guys this week for those requests. One last thing, we did some muffins here. We're gonna share one so you guys could have the other.
True.
But wait.
Oh yeah, they're on the other side of the screen right now.
Just kidding. You can
never mind. One for me. One for you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh good. Oh my goodness. We share a video how we make them. It took like 24 hours. You'll
so long.
Six and a half hours later. $2,000 years later. 12 o'clock midnight. Two hours later. Eventually, one eternity later.
One for me, one for you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh good. Oh my goodness.